All right, so today, Milo, we got to figure out my net worth, and we're going to show people what it is. We haven't taken inventory of net worth in over a year, since May of 2023. And you don't even care about the financial aspect. You just want this cookie. All right, take the cookie and go play. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael. I've recently paid off $140,000 worth of student loan debt, and I'm now on my journey to hopefully building my net worth up to over $1 million. And in today's video, I'm going to do something that I have not done in over a year, and that is, of course, calculating and figuring out what my net worth is, because the last time I took it, it was May of 2023, and I was in a whole different financial situation back then. Now, today's video is going to be an exciting one because most of the net worth numbers are going to be moving around. We're going to see some action here. I'm going to bring back my net worth tracker that I use with Google Sheets, and we're going to flip the camera around so that you guys can see the spreadsheet. I'll probably be a little bubble in the corner or something like that. And to keep track of both my assets and liabilities, I didn't have any paper, so I wrote everything down on a Gorilla Mind energy drink box with a Sharpie. So I think I need to get some paper. Now, you guys can see that May of 2023 was the last month and year that I officially took inventory of my net worth. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting in the updated numbers for each of these categories that you guys can see listed. And then at the end, we're going to take my assets, which is that green column, and the liabilities, which is the red, that's the negative, that's my expenses. And we're going to subtract them from each other and figure out what my net worth is. That's how you figure out net worth. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Starting off with the green column, the good news, the assets. First up, we got my house. Now, this is not my mortgage. This is my home's value. And this can go up or down depending on your area and other factors that we're not going to go into for the sake of this video. But I did use an online realtor site to figure out what my current home's value is at. I don't plan on selling my home, but that's part of an asset that I own. And currently, my home is valued at, remember what I said at the beginning, we're going to see numbers kind of go up and down here, so get ready. My home is currently valued at $178,880. There we go. So a little bit of a jump there from May of 2023. There's a lot of things that can go into affecting your home's value. It could be how your neighbors are doing in adding additions onto their home or making their property look nicer. We have had quite a few neighbors do that. So that could be a reason why our property is going up in value. All right, let's take a look now at my vehicle. And this one's kind of funny. It's how vehicles typically work, because unless you have some expensive sports car or something that's considered a classic, any vehicle you drive off the lot is going to lose value. So this, unfortunately, part of the assets is always going to be going down. The last time I took inventory of my vehicle's value, it was around $8,000 back in May of 2023. And lo and behold, I checked it today, put in all the information I needed, and it's now the current value of $4,600, which I don't even believe that, because I know other people who are currently buying used vehicles that, I don't know what their mileage is, but are older than mine for more than that. So it just seems rather weird that it says my vehicle is only worth $4,600. Whatever, I'm not trying to sell my vehicle. I'm using it to work because I spend 50% of my day in my vehicle for my job. So that's an exaggeration, but my job involves driving to a lot of different places, both my regular job and my side hustle income that I've talked about. Anyway, moving on next to savings and cash. As you guys can see, back in May of 2023, it was quite cranked up there with almost $50,000 in cash, and that's in the bank, you know, whether in my local bank account or in the Ally Savings Bank. At the time, to give you guys a little bit of an update of why it was so high, that was during the deferment of the federal student loans. So I was not putting any money towards the student loans. I was saving it in an Ally Savings Bank and collecting a nice chunk of interest each month. Well, since then, obviously, I paid off my loans, the deferments ended, so I don't have that massive chunk of cash anymore. This is actually an area in my finances that I'm working on building back up. In addition to the investment accounts, is building up sinking funds and savings funds and stuff like that, as I've been talking about in my regular Transfer Tuesday videos. So currently I'm sitting at a total amount in savings and cash of, looking at my Gorilla Mine box here, of $12,237.72. So that's where we're at. Obviously, that's a big down from a big downturn from $49,000, but that goes with what's going on right now financially in my life, as I've already stated. All right, moving on now to some other interesting things to take a look at. We got my 401k. This is with my regular employer. I set my 401k investment account to be at the max contribution rate for my company's match. So once it hits a point where the company is no longer matching that, I stop right there, which is, I think, what most people say is the best advice to do when it comes to a 401k. The last time I took inventory, I was $16,398. Today, when I took inventory, this was actually pretty cool to see. I'm at $32,947.72. Charles Schwab shows you in the account what you're projected to be at when you retire at the age of 65, if that's when you're retiring. And it said I was at a projected investment of basically how much money I would be able to get out of my 401k at that time of just under $1 million just in my 401k account. So that was pretty cool to see. Moving on now to the next form of investment account I have, which is my Roth IRA. This has been kind of a talk of my channel recently because I've been putting a lot more money and targeting my Roth IRA more heavily than I have in the past, which is good news. I'm hoping to max it out. So my current Roth IRA value is at $5,321.93. What did I do wrong? Oh my word. I added extra numbers. Oh, I put the cents. There we go. So $5,321.93. Taxable stocks. Now, what this is a regular taxable brokerage account that I have with TD Ameritrade. However, I found out today when trying to log in and set up this video for you guys that apparently TD Ameritrade was acquired by Charles Schwab. Now, apparently, in order to go in and see that account, I need to make a Charles Schwab account first before it lets me see any of my holdings. And I didn't feel like doing that for the sake of this video, so I will have to do that at a different time and let you know what my taxable brokerage account stocks are sitting at. So I'm just going to put 0 for today, even though that number is probably not the most accurate. But that brings us to now we can calculate my total assets for July of 2024, and that being $233,907.37. Now, that number obviously has gone down since May of 2023, but that's because of that savings and cash number. That was kind of skewing things a little bit because of the federal deferment on the loans. Let's take now a look at the liability column because I think it might even out once we take a look at the red column, the bad news, which isn't all that bad. All right, so this is going to be a lot quicker than the asset column. Sallie Mae loans, well, those were gone a long time ago. Car loan, that was also gone a long time ago. I like to keep them in there. Basically, they're like tombstones of the debt I have paid off. That's why I haven't gotten rid of them from this chart. They're like a tombstone. Federal loan, I know it says government loan, but federal loans, those are my student loans. You guys know, if you've been following me along since May, end of May, that I paid those off. So that $71,407.15 is now gone. So there's another tombstone in the graveyard of debt. So all we have left to talk about now is the mortgage. And if you guys know anything about a 30-year mortgage, you have to pay, they get paid off relatively slow. In fact, in those first several years of paying them off, most of the money goes towards the interest because the bank wants to make moolah off your money. So the payoff is slower than if you had like a 15-year mortgage, which I know some of you have suggested maybe trying to boost up my mortgage payoff to get out of that debt a little bit sooner. And I thought about it, and I'm not really going to go into that whole discussion on this video. So stay tuned maybe for some other videos coming up. But anyway, let's talk about how much left I have to pay off on my mortgage. So my current outstanding debt, the only debt I have left over with my mortgage at all, is $123,563 and it looks like 90 cents. So, wow. That's a big change. Now if we look at my total debt on the liabilities column, you can see, well, the only debt it's showing is the number I just put in the mortgage. However, if you look at that comparison from a year ago in May, I was at $201,401.99. I think I said that right. Well, what we need to do now is take the green total from the green column, total from the assets, and subtract from that the total debt I have left over, which is basically my mortgage. And if I have programmed this network spreadsheet correctly, that number should be right here. And it is. In this blue chart, we have, hopefully you guys can see it, July 2024. That's cool. I have a total net worth today of $110,343.47. So I didn't even realize it. I am now over $100,000 with my net worth. That's a good thing. That's where we're at. That's awesome. I'm over $100,000 in my net worth. Didn't even know that was going on. The last time I took it, I was in the positive. I was at $42,000, but now I'm over $100,000, $110,343.47. So things are looking well currently with my net worth. My plans to improve that involve both increasing my savings in the form of my sinking funds and, of course, saving up for future expenses, which I know that money then goes away, but at least it doesn't put you into further debt, which would drag your asset column down with liabilities. And I also plan to further double down on my Roth IRA so that I can max it out this year, along with continuing to contribute towards my 401k with my employer, along with potentially in the future also trying to maybe speed up the process of getting rid of my mortgage, not by much, but maybe by a few years, and also taking a look at potentially other forms of investments, whether that's rental property or other ways to get into that realm of rental property without you yourself being a landlord. But thank you guys so much for not only joining me for my debt payoff journey, but now joining me for my net worth progression journey of hopefully reaching to one day $1 million with my net worth. As it is, I'm already over 100,000 and I hope to continue to climb from here. But take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one.